What's going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new season of the NBA Files. As always, I'm joined by my man, Everett Terry.
Back like
been a minute, brother.
Back
it's
like
been
we
a
never
minute.
left. It's good to
new
be here.
Set,
I like it.
New old producer.
I like this layout, man, with the cars riding back. Man, this is good, man.
It's
this is
dope.
good ambiance, man. Listen, now people riding past can see me stomping in front of other people. Like, not just going to be the people in studio.
I dropped my paper as soon as you said that. I dropped my paper as soon as you said that.
Listen, lady walking past just watched. Like, she's like, oh,
hey, don't lie. I like the city feel. We in Philly.
Yeah, back home.
We're going to talk about the Sixers. But I want to start out. No, we're going to talk about the Sixers because the propaganda has started with Joel Embiid.
Of course.
He's not able to do 5-on-5s.
Yeah.
You know, he's only allowed to participate in the Instagram videos. But we're gonna push all that to the backdrop. Everett stole my look this show. I feel like I'm out of character, out of uniform.
It's normally me with the button downs and the polos.
The Miami Vice look. So I want to start out.
Shoot.
Carmelo Anthony.
What a body.
Huge trade. Carmelo Anthony is now. Well, let me just. I mean, he was on the block forever. He's gonna start with the hate fresh from the door. Why is Carmelo Anthony in Oklahoma City?
Because he wasn't going to ever get to Cleveland. What do you mean? He wanted to go to Cleveland. He wanted to go to Houston. He couldn't put the pieces together. And the irony about the trade is, look what Sam Presti gave up. He gave up Doug McDermott, who at best is a fringe bench player in the NBA. Enes Kanter, who's a backup big, and a pick that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all.
For a guy that couldn't do anything. But Houston had so much more on the table, yet they couldn't pull the trigger on the trade.
And who told you Houston wasn't going to make the deal? Did I not?
You called
they were always going to have. You can't. He had that man banned from the NBA. Mike D'Antoni was about to be coaching women in the CYO. And all of a sudden got an opportunity to come to Philly and get his feedback. But the bottom line was there was no way Melo was going to Houston. I don't know why the Cleveland deal didn't get done. I'm kind of bugged on how that deal didn't get done. Because
Cleveland had nothing to offer to make it worthwhile. And the bigger piece is they did not want LeBron and Carmelo to play together because that would give Carmelo his best chance at a championship.
Well,
he would have never had a chance to reach the finals playing on any other team other than with LeBron's or the Warriors.
But
he doesn't fit with the Warriors.
All right, so basically what you're telling me is Oklahoma City is not a championship contender.
Hell no.
I agree with you at first.
The only person on this team that's going to move the ball around is Paul George because he's going to be fighting to get the ball.
I agreed with you when the trade. I actually texted you. Initially, I texted you and said, no, it's not going to work.
Right.
But then I thought about something. Russell Westbrook has an amazing basketball IQ. He played with a dude in Kevin Durant, which the stars have shown us who Kevin Durant really is.
He's a
for better, for worse. For better, for worse.
Champion.
But he's also wired a little differently. I think he's wired. I think everyone would agree he's wired a little differently.
Okay.
All right. Carmelo is not.
Carmelo's Hoodie Melo? You talking about Hoodie Melo?
I think Hoodie Melo. Hoodie Melo is a much more aggressive alpha male.
What does that matter when they're black holes? Whose team is it? Let me ask you this question. Whose team is it?
It's Russell Westbrook. And if you ask Melo whose team it is, he'll tell you it's Russell Westbrook.
And so my thing is, when Durant was on the team, whose team was it?
It was Russell Westbrook's team.
No, it wasn't. Stop it. And that was the problem.
No,
it was never Russell Westbrook's team. It was Kevin Durant's team, but Kevin Durant would say publicly, I want Russ to do what he do.
Because he was
But it was always Kevin Durant's team.
Let's move past that. I want to stay current. I want to stay right where we are. I think this can work on two conditions.
Melo comes off the bench?
No.
Okay. Then it's not going to work.
I heard that too.
It's not going to work.
They got to take the ball from Russell.
And how's that going to happen?
You get a point guard.
We already know Russell Westbrook is not going to give up the ball. Not if you get a point guard. Not if you get Russell Westbrook's a ball-dominant guard.
I didn't say take the ball away from Russell, like get Russell to move it. I mean physically insert someone into the lineup that will handle the ball distribution.
Okay, Sam Presti, who you going to get? That Russell Westbrook's going to respect.
But it doesn't have to.
Because if he calls for the ball, when Jordan called for the ball, what do people do? Give him the ball.
That's different. No.
If Russell Westbrook calls for the ball, what point guard is he not going to get the ball from?
Depends on who the point guard is. But
again, I just asked you, what point guard?
It has to be somebody that we haven't heard of.
Who?
It has to be somebody strong enough, but someone who also respects the opportunity that's in front of them. And keep in mind, this is not Melo from 5 years ago. This is not Carmelo from 3 years ago. This is a current Carmelo. This is a current Carmelo who is good for maybe every 4 or 5 games.
Which is why they're not a championship team. Because for them to have a chance, they need a every game Melo. And the every game Melo is a stagnant, black hole on offense. He is the power forward version of Kyrie Irving. You pass him the ball, you don't see it again.
I get you hate Melo, but
I don't hate him. I hate his game because he like Allen Iverson, never worked on how to be a better player to make other people around him better. Nobody forced Melo to be better.
Let's put your disdain on pause for a second.
Go ahead.
You get a point guard, and let your point guard, and I can throw out a list of names, but it can't be somebody you've heard. It has to be someone.
Give me one name.
It could be Jose Calderon.
Stop it.
But that's my point. That's my point.
Stop it.
Luke, you want a name so you can dispute the name, and that's not what I want.
I want a name of a point guard Russell Westbrook will respect enough to give up the ball to. That's all I'm asking you for. Give me one.
He's a point guard that can get them on 50 wins. He's a point guard who is willing to fight back.
You understand Russell Westbrook just won the MVP at the point guard position, right?
Over somebody, over who?
Over James Harden, who he shouldn't have. But that's another conversation for another day. He won the MVP as a point guard, ball dominant, dominated the game, and when he got to the playoffs, he got exhausted. Mm-hmm. He didn't learn anything from last year except,
how do you know that?
I need to hold the ball more. I need more people that can help me.
How do you know that? The season hasn't even started yet.
A leopard never changes its spots. It only changes where it hunts.
Well,
he is what he is.
Kevin Durant averaged 30 points, I want to say 2 or 3 seasons in a row. Okay. Not only Kevin Durant, James Harden played well when he was in OKC.
Off the bench?
Off the bench.
When did he average 20 off the bench at OKC?
I didn't say he averaged 20. I said he played well.
Off the bench? I'm not going to count what he did off the bench. He wasn't even on the floor most of the time.
They were a high-profile, high-prolific scoring team with Russell Westbrook.
And Russell Westbrook never averaged 10 assists with Kevin Durant ever. And Kevin Durant is the greatest, most efficient shooter we've ever seen at the power forward position.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. That's
when you got the most efficient power forward shooter ever, you pass him the ball.
You have a combo guard, and he was averaging 30 points, so obviously he got the ball. I want to move back to something you said before we lose the segment. I want to move back to something you said. We got 3 minutes left in the segment. Cleveland Cavaliers. Mm-hmm. They make the trade. We'll talk about them adding Dwayne Wade, but they make the trade for Isaiah Thomas. Mm-hmm. How do they not get this Melo deal done? You said they don't have pieces. I disagree with you.
What piece could they have given to the Knicks that the Knicks say? They don't want Kevin Love.
Okay, well, obviously they don't, but my point is, how do you not get this deal done? Especially when you got the Brooklyn pick coming back, especially when you got Isaiah Thomas coming back, and especially when you have a Tristan Thompson sitting there, who, if you take Tristan Thompson and Enes Kanter, Kanter's a better offensive player.
Way better offensive player.
But Tristan Thompson is a much better defensive player.
Fair.
And if you're the Knicks, it's a wash because you have KP. Right. You added Michael Beasley.
You don't need a guy that's going to clog up the middle and not be able to score. You need Kristaps to have room to operate. That's why they got a guy that can space out around 12 to 15 feet and hit jumpers and open looks.
And the Knicks have now turned into the slowest team.
That's fine. They wouldn't be any faster with Tristan Thompson.
But that's not the point. The point is, why wouldn't you get that deal done?
And Tristan Thompson has an awful contract.
Enes Kanter has an awful contract.
No, he doesn't.
Enes Kanter's got 2 years left for like $80 million.
Listen, what has Tristan Thompson got? He just re-upped the year before
Tristan
last.
Thompson possibly has 3 years back. I can check it. I can check it. He's maybe got 1 extra year, if that, but I'm almost certain it's the same amount of money.
Doesn't matter. The point is Tristan Thompson and his Kanter are, if at best, a wash. But the bigger thing is the pride of the Knicks were not going to trade Carmelo to the Cavaliers, and that's why they couldn't get the deal done. They have no young talent to trade because they've got all this old veteran on the team.
They didn't want
Carmelo to go play with LeBron. I said that 10 minutes ago.
But the bigger issue, the point was, why didn't the Cavaliers supersede that and get that deal done?
With what? What could they offer?
They have the contracts because the Knicks weren't looking.
They didn't want Isaiah Thomas. They got players. They got Frank the Tank. They
weren't looking for players. They were looking to get rid of Melo. And if you're Cleveland, you find another a trade partner. You find a way to get this deal done, even if it costs you. And we're gonna talk about this when we come back. Even if it costs you DeMarcus Cousins, because I think Carmelo.
They're not gonna get DeMarcus Cousins. They're not getting DeMarcus Cousins.
Not so fast. I'm really not ready to see.
Let's go to the break, man.
Hold on. You ain't going to throw me the break. I throw me the break.
Throw you the break.
Come back.
There it is.
Look, I'm going to wrap up this segment like this. Oklahoma can disrupt things in the Western Conference. I'm not saying they'll win.
They'll be a 4 seed.
I think they could be a top 3 team.
Goodbye.
I think they could be a top 3.
I've heard it.
Don't discount Russell, man. Last year, I sat in this very chair and I said that Russell would have to have a better than an Allen Iverson type season to win MVP just for Oklahoma City to be relevant. He had arguably one of the greatest NBA seasons we ever saw. This man has
how many playoff series did they win?
They didn't win any.
Okay,
they didn't win any.
Therein is my point. That's not an Allen Iverson season because Allen Iverson won an MVP and got to the finals.
Yeah, he did. But how many rings did AI win?
How many rings Russell win?
How many 50-win seasons did AI have?
Different NBA.
We'll be right back when coming back. When we come back on the other side, we're going to talk more NBA. We'll talk more NBA.
What else are we going to talk about?
Well, I was going to throw it to different stuff, but I want to jump off of something you said. We'll talk more NBA. Hey, he's Everett. I'm Kwame Fisher-Jones. This is the NBA Files. We'll be right back.
Here we go. Welcome, everybody, back to the NBA Files. I'm Everett Terry with Kwame Fisher-Jones. So,
I'm jealous. I'm jealous right now that you got your Miami Vice jacket on.
Listen, being jealous, man. Listen, I'm making it do what it do. You know what I mean? Tubbs, you know what I mean? Listen, it is what it is. Listen.
I'm stewing in my seat.
Shake it off. Don't be worried. Don't let that bother you. Listen.
It's as shady as can be right now.
I don't tell you.
This man told me no jacket today. It's 90 degrees outside. So I said, all right, I'll go button up. No response. Then he comes in with his Men's Warehouse suit on. I mean, I'm jelly right now.
You're going to love the look. I guarantee it. You want something like,
sipping a Dunkin' Donuts cup.
That's it. Hey, that iced tea for $1 was great. Anyway, shout out to them for that $1 tea. So we talked a lot about Cleveland.
Yes.
We talked a lot about the situation with, Carmelo and all these other things. Let's talk about something else that happened with Cleveland. So the aged veteran, Dwayne Wade, gets to go play with his Thunder buddy, LeBron again. Let's do this one more time. You know what? I understand that you're excited about it, but let's talk about that. What does he actually bring to them? Because to me, he brings them 14 points a game off the bench at 38% efficiency. He's going to miss 40 games this year, resting his aged knees. He'll get in the playoffs. Maybe he'll help them steal a game or two, but he doesn't make them better than any of the top 2 to 3 teams in the West. So what does he bring? Well, that's my opinion. What do you think he brings?
Well, first of all, the aged version of the black age version of the Golden Girls, this does make it tough. But when Cleveland was on the NBA, when Cleveland played in the NBA Finals and LeBron went to the bench, they had problems scoring.
Fair.
They had problems not only scoring, but also initiating offense. Dwayne Wade will fix that. He's not going to play every game. I'll be shocked if he plays more than 55 games this year in the regular season. And even in the first round of the playoffs, I'll be shocked if I see him a lot.
He may play a game or two.
I actually like him going up in Game 4, or excuse me, the finals as well as the Eastern Conference Finals. And I want to throw this at you. Probably on this for a second. You don't just add Dwayne Wade. You've added Jeff Green. You've added Jay Crowder. You've added Dwayne Wade. And if Little Tank, also known as Isaiah Thomas, can ever...
He's not due back until like February.
Injured. January, but that's why I scratched my ear because I think I'm throwing that Joel Embiid injury.
Well, you got that, and then you got Derrick Rose who gets hurt getting up in the morning out of bed.
Did I mention Derrick Rose? Did I at any point in time?
He's going to start at point guard. He's going to start at point guard.
Why are we bringing up Derrick Rose?
He's going to start.
You're just throwing it in there to try to start something.
You know what's crazy? 5 years ago, if you'd have ran this lineup out, people would have said, "Oh my God, this is the greatest lineup." You got Wade, you got Rose, this is an all-star team. 5 years later, you got a whole bunch of injury IR guys.
Trying to make Cleveland great again? He Donald Trump? Who cares about 5 years ago?
I'm just telling you that the name
talk about
branding
right now.
Means nothing.
But it's better than what they had.
Okay.
Which always helps.
I'll give you that.
And it allows you to elevate. And like I said, you've got 2 mammoths in the middle, and Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson. You can turn one of those players into DeMarcus Cousins.
No, you can't.
Why can't
Stop it. No, you can't.
Okay. Why can't you? Just because you repeat it doesn't make it right. Why can you?
Let me ask you a question. Why, if that was the case, couldn't Cleveland have turned Kevin Love into DeMarcus Cousins 2 years ago? Or
we discussed that. I guess we're going to live in the past. We discussed that. When Cleveland offered the deal, DeMarcus Cousins was all set to re-up with Sacramento.
Oh, was he?
Then, at All-Star break, his agent notifies Vlade Divac, we had to change our heart. We're not going to do it. Trade us. So then they got whatever they could at that point.
But that's not what I asked you. Why didn't Cleveland call and say, you know what, we'll give you Kevin Love?
They offered Kevin Love.
And what did they say? What did they say? We don't want Kevin Love who's a bum.
Because first of all, it's different teams because you're not talking about the Kings, you're talking about the Pelicans now. But let me answer your question specifically. Because Sacramento had DeMarcus Cousins on the hook, he was going to re-up. Something changed I want to say midstream, but something changed mid-season, and that's why DeMarcus Cousins is no longer in Sacramento.
That ain't what I asked you. I said, why couldn't Cleveland have traded Kevin Love to Sacramento?
Said no, because DeMarcus Cousins was going to re-up.
No, I'm talking about when they knew they were going to trade him. Why didn't they say, hey, Cleveland?
They didn't call him, I guess. I don't know. But they took
because they didn't want Kevin Love. Let's keep it a bean. They didn't want Kevin Love.
Sacramento may not have. You can say that. I disagree because what the rumor mill is saying is that Sacramento called New Orleans first and took that deal because that's where Cousins wanted to go. But let's flip that. It doesn't matter. We're talking about the Pelicans now.
The Pelicans don't want Kevin Love either. Why would they want Kevin Love?
They don't have to take Kevin Love. They can take Tristan Thompson. You can find a third wheel. If Cleveland wants to make this deal happen, it's going to happen.
Tristan Thompson and DeMarcus Cousins don't go in the same sentence in any statistical category.
You're talking about salaries. It
don't matter. What makes that deal intriguing to them when there's other people that'll give them more?
The Pelicans wanted a center. That's why they would talk. That's why they wanted Jahlil Okafor.
What makes the deal intriguing
for the Pelicans?
To the Pelicans?
Because they wanted a center. They wanted a defensive-minding, rebounding center. When they couldn't get that, then they set their sights on Jahlil Okafor. Couldn't get that deal done. Then they wound up with DeMarcus Cousins falling.
I disagree that they couldn't get that deal because the Sixers were trying to give away Jahlil Okafor.
Deal didn't get done. Jahlil didn't go anywhere. And even though, and we can talk Sixers now.
Yeah.
People keep saying they were trying to give Jahlil Okafor away. They weren't trying that hard because he's still here. He's still here. So the asking price for Jahlil wasn't as what everybody thought it was because Nerlens, last I checked, is supposed to be coming off the bench in Dallas, and they gave Nerlens away to whoever would take it.
That's fair.
So they didn't want to make that move, and I wouldn't be surprised because we know there's a Duke lineage there or Duke alliances there with Mike Krzyzewski and the owner of the team, Colangelo and son. So we're not surprised by that, and I know I'm on an island here, but I'm fine with that. I'm not ready to give up on Jahlil Okafor. That scoring prowess just doesn't fall out of trees.
You on Gilligan's Island with that one. Ain't a soul in this city that wants to see Jahlil
basketball. There's a soul in this city don't know diddly poo. The vocal minority doesn't know diddly poo about basketball because they're still trying to tell you Joel Embiid is going to play 60 games. I saw somebody, and I won't say who because he's a nemesis of mine, actually go on TV and fix his mouth to say Joel Embiid was going to play 60 games. This Negro ain't played 60 games in 4 years.
I said he won't play 30 games. He ain't played 30 games in the whole season ever.
He
won't play back-to-backs. He won't play against, competition that they can
on
win
the street
without.
is, and we all over the place on Cares NBA offseason. First episode 1 or game 1 of the new season of NBA Files. I'll do you one better. Word on the street is Joel Embiid may not show up until All-Star break.
Nah, he'll play before that.
We'll see.
I got it on authority he's ready to play and that they're trying to lift his minutes.
Yeah, I know who your authority is. He's a Sixer employee. He's a Sixer employee who's a propaganda pusher. I'm being real. I know exactly. I won't call him out because I don't have no beef with the brother outside of professional disagreement. You know what I mean? I wish the brother nothing but success, and I want him to come back on your show. So I'm not going to disrespect him. But he's a Sixer employee, and not just a Sixer employee. He's in the communications department for the Sixers. So of course, as they try to kick out them season ticket prices,
they gotta sell
exactly. They're going to sell that propaganda until Ben Simmons takes the court. And once Ben Simmons takes the court, and that ball gets rolling, then you'll hear less and less about Joel Embiid.
Of course, because Ben Simmons is the feature attraction. He's the guy everybody wants to see.
And he's the one that wants to play. And it's, we started out talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we can transition to that. We screw the rundown, transition to that. We're in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The Sixers are being picked in some betting circles to finish as high as 5th.
I'm not betting with any of those people.
Well, here's the question. Here's the first question. Can Ben Simmons be the first player since Blake Griffin to win a Rookie of the Year trophy and play in the All-Star game?
No, and no.
Really? So you don't think he wins Rookie of the Year? Which one don't you think?
I think Alonzo Ball wins Rookie of the Year.
And you are a fan of what team again?
The Los Angeles
Lakers.
Lakers.
Look at that camera. We're a fan of who again?
LA Showtime Lakers is back. Lakers.
Yeah, we all know I love Alonzo Ball.
Them boys looking good.
Oh, that grin wasn't there when we were talking summer grant. That smile was upside down.
When he won Summer League MVP, I said, hey, putting up triple double.
You start looking at your co-host like maybe my man was. Maybe my co-host knew a little bit about what he was talking about.
I still don't think his father's anything but a dope, but I think the kid can play ball.
Have we heard from his father since he's been drafted?
Because you know what Magic said. Listen, I'm gonna cut you.
Hold on.
I'm gonna cut you in a couple of these Starbucks. You gonna shut up and take that when he go home?
Who told you that was gonna happen? Okay.
But the NBA ain't started yet. Games don't count yet. We'll see.
Look, I love the Lakers, and we're going to talk Brandon Ingram in the next block.
Yeah, please.
But I want to bring it back to the Sixers. I think Ben Simmons will win Rookie of the Year for one reason only. he has nothing stopping him. He is coming into a blank. There's no structure. There is no rhyme or reason. He's playing for a coach who will not be there in 2 years. He's playing for a lot with a lineup of players who chances are will not be on the Sixers in 2 years. I'll tell you this.
Markelle Fultz will be there.
I was just about to say, I think Markelle Fultz is traded next year by All-Star break. By the trade deadline. Look, you can say, nah, you want. We have seen one-dimensional offensive players bounce around, whether it's Andrew Wiggins and whether it's Kyrie Irving. We've seen that happen.
Andrew Wiggins bounce around too. He's still with the Timberwolves, if I'm correct.
Yeah, but who drafted him?
What do you mean?
Who drafted him?
The Cavaliers traded him on draft day.
No, they didn't trade him on draft day because he played in the summer league for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Once again, Kwame Fisher-Jones giving you facts.
They traded him.
He played in the summer league.
All right,
with the
they
Cavs.
drafted him and traded him before the season started. Let's go that way.
So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's see where I want to go to since I done proved you wrong in the last two blocks.
The last two
We'll go, yeah, the last two blocks. We're going to talk a little Lakers. Yeah, I proved
Let's talk Lakers. Let's talk something real.
We're going to talk a little Lakers. I want to talk some Brandon Ingram.
You're right about the draft day. That was my slip. But they traded him before they played a regular season game.
You're going to like this before we take a break. I am hearing, and I know I'm going to sound crazy, I am hearing some wonderful things about Julius Randle. I'm hearing some crazy things about
Julius Randle. I like
am hearing some
Listen,
possible
I needed him to slim down and be a little more aggressive on the glass, and he did. I need Brandon Ingram to drink some milk and hit the gym, put a little more weight on. He didn't. He's still about as pencil thin as my 12-year-old son. You know, when my son was 12.
All right, hold that. Let's take a quick break. You're watching NBA Files. Everett, Terry, Kwame Fisher-Jones. We'll be right back.
There it is.
Climate change is changing our world in more ways than you may think. Because it's not just climate that's changing. People are changing the way they live their lives and the way they see the world. And these changes are the beginning of something huge. It's good. Because we need to act now before the next big storm hits, to strengthen and restore the natural defense system that protects us all from high water and winds. The climate is changing, but so are we. Learn what you can do.
Welcome back to the NBA Files, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kwame Fisher-Jones. Everett Tay broadcasting from the beautiful Philly Cam Studios. Shout out to New Video Productions. Glad we regrouped. We're heading back in the action here, first episode. Now, before we go to the Sixers and Joel Embiid, because I really want to jump into a lot of the moves the Sixers have made, I want to talk about their arch rival. They made a major move. Kyrie Irving is now in Boston. We can break down Boston. I choose not to because I don't think anyone has a full gauge of what Boston is going to be yet.
Yeah, Danny Ainge is out of his mind. Nobody.
Well, no, Brad Stevens is. I mean, Danny Ainge has done his part. Now it's Brad Stevens, and I have
coach that.
I have an immense amount of respect for Brad Stevens as a basketball coach.
Good basketball.
So I'm not going to disrespect him and try to prognosticate on what I think they're going to do.
Fair enough.
But that respect, while it's there, is not reciprocated for one Kyrie Irving. So my question for you is very simple. Who will miss whom more? The Cavs will miss Kyrie, or will Kyrie miss the Cavs?
Kyrie's going to miss the Cavs easy. Because he gets to go and be the guy. But what he's going to see is that level of success that he's gotten accustomed to over the last couple of years start to simmer a little bit. He's going to accustom that he's not going to be able to run and tell his coach what to do. He's going to have to do what his coach tells him to do. See, Tyronn Lue, for as good as he is, kowtow to the players, okay? They did what they wanted, and he adjusted to that.
You kill me with that.
Blatt was the same way. And I don't even know who the heck the coaches were before those guys. Mike Brown, who I don't even think is in basketball anymore. Maybe he's like a defensive,
assistant coach for the Warriors.
Right, there it is. Videotape assistant, whatever it is that he does there. Listen.
He's got a ring.
It doesn't matter. Listen, the Water Boy's got a ring. What I'm saying to you is, the point of the matter is, Kyrie's used to being the guy. He's used to being this guy that everybody beloved, and it was his world, his team, his show. He was that way at Duke. He was that way in high school. He gets there. He's that way with the Cavs, but they're not winning. They bring in LeBron. Now he has to go play second fiddle. It was cool to win a ring, but now he wants to go be the guy. Great. Got it. Understand it. Fair. You want to go be your own man? Okay, that's wonderful. The problem is your talent level needs to command a level of respect that people are going to feel like, you know what? Okay, this guy wants to be man. When Russell Westbrook did it with Durant, he was forced into it, but he embraced it. Okay. But he embraced it and he stepped up.
Yeah.
You haven't seen anything out of Kyrie Irving in his entire NBA career that says he can be a guy to lead a team. He's got talent, so I don't want to hear he doesn't have talent with guys like Gordon Hayward, with Jason Tatum, with Jaylen Brown, Al Horford. So I don't want to hear when they win 48 games and they were a 3 seed and they were a 1 seed last year with 5'3" Isaiah Thomas that, they had to learn how to gel together. And they go into the playoffs and they play Cleveland and get smoked in 6 games instead of 5 because Kyrie may help them win one more game that, they need another year to gel. No. The whole reason you went to Boston.
You've been saving this. I think you've been saying
The whole reason you went to Boston is you wanted to prove to the world that you could go be the guy and lead this team to a victory. Well, now that you've gotten your wish, the only way you're going to shut every person who's been a prognosticator of you up, everybody who's been a detractor of you up, who said that you're not good enough up, is to go and beat Cleveland, which they do not have enough firepower to do, especially now adding Wade.
All right, now what if I were to tell you Kyrie doesn't care about winning?
Then why the hell did he go to Boston? Why did you go to the 1 seed in the East?
Because Kyrie wanted to go somewhere where he can compete. But the issue with Kyrie...
He could have went to Phoenix and competed.
I'm not...
He could have went to Phoenix and competed.
I don't know Kyrie.
I don't think anybody does. He's real quiet.
No. There are people out there who know him. So I can't speak to his personality. I can only speak to what's in front of me from his playing days. And what I can say is this. Kyrie is the type of player who just plays basketball. Okay. He doesn't play to score. He doesn't play the opponent. Yeah, but he just plays basketball. He doesn't get caught up in the seriousness of the moment. He doesn't get caught up in things. There was a certain level of no. I don't want to put that on Kevin. I think Kevin's a little bit more. I think Kevin's a little bit more competitive and wanted to win a title. I think Kyrie looks at it like...
if he never wins another title.
Exactly.
But he wins, 40, 50 games, makes the playoffs every year, but he's to be the guy on an average NBA team.
If you're talking about Kyrie the way we're talking about him now, he's sitting back like that meme, sipping tea, chilling. He's not concerned about whether or not the Cavs are winning. He's not concerned about whether the Celtics are winning. Because if you remember, one of the statements that put a red flag up to you, they're in the NBA final. They said, they asked him in the play. He said, when did you know you wanted to leave? He said, in the playoffs. But I didn't want it to be a distraction, so I didn't say anything. So you're going into a championship run, and you're thinking about
getting out of there.
Yeah, so
that's what LeBron did the last year in Cleveland before he left. He had already checked out before that last game. Don't do that. He checked out before that closeout game.
But I think LeBron's resume speaks to the fact that he is more... He can focus, and he's more concerned about legacy winning titles.
He checked out before the closeout game. What do you mean?
I can't dispute that. I can't affirm that or dispute that. What I can say is Kyrie's resume is one to just score. He's comfortable.
Yeah, he only plays one side of the ball.
He's comfortable being a scoring player. He's not. He doesn't want to do anything else.
Johnson.
Let me just say this. I think that with all that being said, I feel like the Cavs are going to miss Kyrie more because they're not going to have that ISO, 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
King of the fourth isn't good enough? I like King of the fourth.
I think you're assuming King of the fourth can play.
King of the fourth will play. He don't have to rush back
with
this team.
Just because you say it out loud.
He don't have to rush back with this team to be a guy. In Boston, he had to rush back.
You're right. Well,
he don't have to rush back in Cleveland. They got enough with all these other guys around him that he could take his time and come back when he's 100% healthy.
The last physical marvel that had a significant hip injury never played again. So you know we can discount that if you want to, but your body telling you something. And I've said it. I've been on record saying you're looking at a guy who was a Fiat carrying a load behind him.
That's true.
And eventually those tires wore out. And now you're saying, well, I can just put some tires on there.
What's he, 27, 28?
I'm not saying it's done. I'm saying that he's got a lot we got to see. We're going to see.
That's fair.
To quote your fellow light yellow brother, we're going to see. Because I don't know. I don't know. So now I want to transition from one hurt player to another hurt player.
Let's.
And I know we got 3 minutes on. We don't even need 3 minutes to talk about Mr. Instagram.
Oh, I know you love him.
No,
that's your buddy right there. Your friend to the end.
He hurts my soul.
I know, friend to the end.
He hurts my soul.
Did you add him on your Instagram?
I'm off Instagram now.
Oh,
I'm off Instagram now. The age requirements have come back. I am over the age of being on Instagram. Yeah. When you don't understand,
you log in and it's like unknown user.
Yeah,
doesn't know who you are.
if the hash marks and everything have graded me out. That's not my world.
Marks. Clearly you're too old.
Yeah, hashtags, hash marks, whatever. It's not my world. You know who does? People who
you probably say pound symbol, don't you?
You're on Instagram, right? So I can't go hard on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
I can't go hard on Instagram, but you're not a participant.
I'm on there. I post every once in a while something light.
Get the hell out of here.
Let's keep it moving.
You go on there and just put a like on there. The same thing I do on Twitter. Just retweet something so people still know you're alive.
I don't tweet.
I gotta be on Twitter, man. When you're a writer, you have to be on Twitter. When you're on television, you probably gotta be on Instagram. But the Instagram maven savant that is Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Brian Colangelo has shut the door on Joel Embiid.
I don't think so.
Okay. He refuses to even negotiate a contract extension.
That's smart. The man stays hurt. Let him play through the year.
Who you telling? You preaching to the choir, Creflo. But the point is, as a general manager, to not even entertain the discussion.
Because he's letting him play for his own contract. See, what you don't want to do is re-up him.
lock him in, and now all of a sudden he, clips a fingernail the wrong way and needs to miss 6 games.
Or maybe you're taking everything off, saying go ahead, play for it, and when he goes out, plays and gets hurt.
Now we negotiate.
No, you don't even negotiate. I think he's done with him.
I think they come back and they offer him. They'd be stupid to let him go for nothing. I think
they let him walk at the end of his contract because he's going to. And I'm not. Let me be clear. Neither one of us are wishing injury on Joel Embiid if they extend an offer to him. So
I think they come back and they offer him something low to mid that'll probably offend him, 10, 12 million a year.
I don't think they do anything.
I think they offer him 10
they let
12.
him walk. I think he gets hurt. I think they let him walk.
Nah, I don't think this is.
You know what tells me that? Chris Humphries, Emeka Okafor. When you bring in camp bodies to toughen up the bigs that you have, because I can't see both of those men playing into the regular season. I know we're pressed on the break, so I got to wrap it up. I can't see either one of those players making it to the regular season, but what I do see is them being camp bodies to toughen up and allow your coach to be rotation, because both of those players do what? Rebound and play defense. And they're not shot. Emeka Okafor was a shot blocker at one point.
So you think the reason that they held on Okafor is because they've already counted out Embiid and they needed a big, so it doesn't look like they lost their last 3 bigs for nothing?
No, I won't say that, because I don't think Colangelo cares, because Colangelo owns the team. So he can give a damn what everybody else thinks. He ain't going nowhere.
As long as he's building around Simmons.
You can't build around Simmons so you know what you got. Remember, and just say
Simmons
this.
and Fultz, it's a 2-man game. Batman Robin.
Let me just say this. Brett Brown is not his pick.
No, he's not.
Jahlil Okafor was not his pick.
Go on.
Joel Embiid was not his pick.
Go on. Yep.
Simmons and Fultz were his moves. That's the only thing he cares about.
Fair.
We're going to come back. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to talk Brandon Ingram and the Lakers.
Yes.
We're going to talk, also I want to talk a little bit about the owners and lottery reform.
Please.
And then we're going to wrap it up with the Warriors deciding not to go to the White House. I'm serious.
I love that.
I don't know. We'll be right back. NBA Files.
All right.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NBA Files. I'm Everett Terry with Kwame Fisher-Jones. Now we can finally talk about a real NBA franchise. The Los Angeles Showtime Lakers are back, baby. We've arrived. Lonzo Ball era has begun. The next era of Lakers Showtime basketball is here, and I'm excited to watch it. But while we're talking to Lakers, let's talk about the guy that came right before we started the Alonzo Ball era, and Brandon Ingram, okay? So, word on the street is that Brandon Ingram is looking pretty good, and people are asking, what should people expect from him?
First, to quote the great philosopher Charles Barkley, first of all, I am a little bothered that you are all of a sudden on the Alonzo Ball train here. There's no room for you.
Hey,
there's no room for you.
I've been a Laker fan forever.
Yeah, but there's no room on the Lonzo Ball train. When I told you during the draft, you do not pass on this kid. Winning is a habit. You got to keep yourself mean. And this dude keeps like, oh, no, his dad talks too much. I said, man, when he gets into the Lakers, Magic Johnson's not going to tell his dad to be quiet.
He gave him 5 Starbucks and he kept quiet.
He went to everybody in the media and said, you quote Lonzo Ball, your credential belongs to me. So, nobody's talking to LeVar Ball now. Everybody's like, I don't have anything to say to him, and his dad is chilling. I watched the Facebook show. Do you watch the Facebook show?
No.
I love LeVar Ball. I told you from day one I love LeVar Ball. I was excited about it. I do. I watch Facebook show. I support Facebook because you know what? Our show's also going to be broadcast on Facebook.
I mean, that's fine.
So we got to support us on Facebook. If LeVar Ball gets $5 million from a Facebook Live show, that means we
$5 million views?
No, $5 million. If sponsors are paying, sponsors pay, I got to teach the man in the business suit.
I only want 5,000.
I got to teach the man in the business suit how it works.
$5 million.
When the top get more,
of course,
then
the bottoms eat better.
Exactly.
I understand ergonomics.
So
I know how ergonomics work.
You need to also,
I was around when Reagan did
everybody need to be watching LeVar Ball show on Facebook.
All right.
Because if you're on
the
Facebook
moment he get
Live,
$5 million, you let me know when I can get my check, and then we can all talk about it.
Late, Johnny come latelys, boy.
Listen, go ahead.
So look, I am good to see you over here, but I don't know if I want to welcome you on the train. Now, not only has Brandon Ingram allegedly looked good, Julius Randle apparently has looked good. He slimmed down.
Good. He needed to. He was a little overweight.
But
he was
here's
looking
the
like
thing.
a bigger version of James Harden.
He's been working on his jump shot and three-point shot.
Thank you. You got to be a stretch four in the NBA.
He's incorporated a shooting coach. Look, man, listen.
I love players that try to improve themselves.
Listen, Linda, listen. You got a dude in Alonzo Ball who can get people to block.
Yes.
You've got LeBron coming next year.
Yes.
You possibly got another top free agent coming.
Paul George.
I don't know if it's going to be Paul George. We don't know for certain.
Makes perfect sense for Paul George.
Well, if Russell Westbrook wants to come, you going to sell Russell no for Paul George?
I would with Alonzo Ball.
No.
Russell Westbrook doesn't fit.
No. He could be your shooting guard.
Goodbye.
Paul George is going to be what, your 3?
Yes.
What's LeBron going to play, your 4?
LeBron can listen. Paul George can play the 2.
Okay, well we all over.
We all over the place.
Yeah, so just sticking with what we got here. So if you're Julius Randle, you're not just playing for a new contract.
You're playing possibly for a new team. You're auditioning.
Exactly. So I'm impressed. Look,
I like what he's doing.
I haven't been there for the work.
And I'm a big fan of Luke Walton as a coach.
Well, I'm a big fan of Julius Randle.
That's
you know, and I when I watched him play, and you're gonna fall out shit when I say this. He reminds me of a young, or reminded me at the time in college of a young Karl Malone at Louisiana Tech. The way he ran the floor, how reckless he was, kind of bull in the China shop style. You know, he didn't have your traditional back to the basket game.
Right, because that was
as a
Karl
power
Malone.
forward. Well, Karl Malone didn't have a back to the basket game.
He developed it, but early on.
But he got a lot of his points to transition running the floor, and he got a lot of his little chippy points in 12-foot jump shots, and that's what Julius Randle's working on. So when you see that, it excites you as a basketball fan.
They're about the same height, same.
Yeah. So
Malone was just bigger. He was just
and Malone was a better defender and had a higher basketball IQ, which Julius can develop over time. Yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is I like Julius Randle. I actually wanted the Sixers to consider drafting him or Marcus Smart over Joel Embiid. I understood why they took Embiid, but I just thought it was a bad pick. But I know why Hinkie did it, because he had no reason not to.
I'm right.
No,
nobody knew he was going to be as injury prone as he was.
Everybody knew. That's why the Cavaliers passed on him. That's why the Bucks passed on him.
Okay.
Everybody knew. But Hinkie had nothing to lose, because Hinkie's thing was, if he sucks, we still draft high. Right. And if he doesn't suck, or if he doesn't get hurt, yeah. So Hinkie was playing with house money. But going back to that, I feel like if you're building a team, you wanted more talent. So I'm excited to see what the Lakers do.
Okay.
I think the Lakers are going to. Magic Johnson
42
wins,
to 45 wins. 42 to 45
You always
wins.
want to put something on it.
I think they got 42 to 45 wins in them.
I'm not going to start giving out win totals until I see what they look like in practice and see what they do in practice. One thing you never want to do is start putting up wins, and a lot of fans
People
do
start
this.
putting up wins for next season now.
I was about to say, people start, especially gamblers, they put wins up once they see teams in training camp or actually preseason. They start not getting wins, or in the paper. You want to see what they look like in practice, because that's when you're going to get an idea for it. Now, switching from practice. All right,
we're talking about
switching
practice?
gears. Yeah, we're talking about practice in Philly. We're talking about practice in Philly.
Yeah.
And we talked about Sam Hinkie.
Yeah.
So the curse of Sam Hinkie is still lurking over the NBA. And owners now want to reconfigure the lottery.
I don't know how you can.
I can tell you how. Oh, that's easy. I can fix the lottery like that.
How?
If you get a top 3 pick 1 year, you don't get another top 3 pick for 2 years. So if you get a top 3 pick in 2000, for the next 2 seasons, no matter what your record is, you cannot land a top 3 or top 5 pick, depending on how you want to work out the logistics.
The only problem with that is there are some teams that are so putrid, so bad, they don't get. Look at the Cavaliers.
Why are they bad?
Look at the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Why are they bad? Hold on, but why are they bad?
But look at the Cleveland Cavaliers. For instance.
I'm looking.
Right before LeBron came,
they were
had
horrible.
3 number 1 overall picks.
Yeah,
and still couldn't get good enough.
They had 4 top 5 picks because Deion Waiters
still couldn't get good enough.
Why not?
Because NBA talent is not what it used to be. Guys are not developed the way they used to be. They're drafting based on talent of projected.
The people blowing the whistle don't know what they're doing. You cannot evaluate talent. Evaluating talent is a God-given skill. It is not something you can teach. Numbers.
And there's only a handful of guys that are good at that anymore.
And those teams always win. Hello, Jerry West. Hello, the San Antonio Spurs. Hello, Oklahoma City. Those teams always win because the talent evaluators know what they're looking at. Sam Hinkie could not evaluate talent. So he was going to have top 3 picks for the next billion, skillion, alien years. He was never going to draft talent.
Okay.
When you sit back and you look at numbers, people institute numbers to confuse you. They throw a lot at you so you get confused and you say, well, this number looks right and go. I don't need numbers. I can look at a guy and say he can play. I can look at a dude and tell he can play. Now, that's how you fix the lottery. That's how you keep teams from tanking. Because you have guys like, well, the last 40 years, you've needed a number one pick to win a championship, so your chances are better by 95% if you're top. No, it's not where you draft, it's who you draft.
We agree.
So you reform that that's how you fix the lottery. I don't like the fact that the owners want to do it. It's like they want to put the age limit on because they don't want to pass on a high school kid, so it's not working out. I don't like that rule either, and I don't like the fact that the owners want to do it.
I hate the high school rule because think about the guys who come in the NBA from high school that have been great. Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett.
I like the high school rule.
I don't, because I feel like if you can send me off to war coming out of high school,
yeah,
why can't you let me go and play for a max contract?
Because I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room. You are dealing with young black men and millions of dollars.
Fair. So you know what you do? You know what you do? You put you have a program in place when you bring them in. And you know what I actually think that they do better? They do like they do in baseball, where they draft kids out of high school, they throw them into a developmental league and let them develop for 2 or 3 years before they bring them up. The G League, the problem with the G League is basically something that nobody thinks of as a real league. It's not really meant to develop players and talent. It's just meant to be a holding for second-round picks that will never make it to the NBA. What they should do, if they're smart, is draft these high school kids, say, we're going to give you a small contract, let you develop in the G League, and when you're good enough, we bring you up. Kind of like the majors do every single year. They bring guys up, and if guys are good enough, they stay, and if not, they send them back down. It works in baseball. It can work in basketball.
But I would rather see look, and I'm going to go real cheesy here. It's not a bad thing to go to college.
It's not.
So that's my point.
But when you're telling a kid who's used to living poor his whole life, he has a chance to make enough money to change his entire family's future, it's very hard to sell him on why he should sit there for 2 more years.
I can. You're going for the long term. And you know what? Here, you're not going to run through your money. You're going to learn how to become a better person.
How many guys that finish 4 years of college? How many guys that finish 4 years of college, number one, have a better NBA career than guys that do 2? That's one. And the other question is, how many guys that do 4 years of college typically don't run out of money with guys that do 2? You can find it either way. Because Kobe Bryant got all his money.
I'm going to answer that question.
Okay.
Kobe Bryant comes from a nuclear family. I'm going to answer that question a little better. I'm not concerned about the NBA. I'm concerned about these young brothers getting an opportunity. And I think that there's nothing wrong going to college. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Warriors going to the White House. We didn't get a chance to talk about a lot of other things. But don't worry, we will be back each week on Saturdays, Facebook Living. The NBA Files. Here is Everett Terry. I'm Kwame Fisher-Jones. We are brought to you by New Video Productions. Check us out every Saturday. We'll go 1 p.m., 2 p.m. We'll be somewhere. Or go to at the NBA Files on Facebook. You can see all the previous episodes and relive the magic. We will see you next week. Until then, we appreciate your time.
Great first show.
You do.